Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today in War Thunder it's time to have a look at one of the pre-order packs for update 1.87. Now for the sneak peek stream earlier, this actually wasn't there for us. There wasn't a lot for the Germans. There was a new light cruiser, which we'll have a look at in a bit, and it's very similar to the Kern, let's just put it like that. But what came out after the stream is some of the pre-order packs we're going to see, and one of them was for the Seahawk pack. Now, since every nation is slowly but surely getting their rank 6 jets, along comes the rank 5 jet premiums. Now, we know that the Japanese are getting a Sabre, the Americans have a Sabre, the Soviets have the MiG-15 Bish, and then of course the British also have their Meteor. What is kind of surprising is, out of those bunch, I would definitely put the Meteor at a lower edge compared to the rest, but now we have a competitor. The competitor to worst top-tier premium is now on the doorstep of this German machine. Well, it's actually British, but it is in the German tree. I do think that this is better than the Meteor, but they do offer different roles. So what is this machine that you're looking at in front of you? This is the Seahawk. If you don't know, we already had a devblog on a Seahawk, which is coming to the British tree as a standard vehicle. This is the FGA-6 Jet Vulture. It is much more of an attacker version of the Seahawk, and it was also designed as well with the idea of being a defensive interceptor. You know where we've also heard that before? The Javelin. The Javelin was also designed to be a defensive interceptor, and look how that is in game right now. Anyway, so basically the version that the Germans are getting of the Seahawk is known as the Hawker Seahawk Mark 100. And the Mark 100 is a version which is very similar to the FGA-6, which is the one that we're getting in the British tree, and it's fitted with a taller fin and rudder, so there should be a little bit more control in it with a little bit less speed. But on top of everything, one of the things that was not mentioned in the devblog for the British version is this version here gets its hands on two AIM-9B Sidewinder AAMs. Now, one thing we did see from the sneak peek, and has been confirmed, is that a lot of the vehicles that are getting added to the game are going to have anti-air missiles, and a lot of pre-existing vehicles are also going to get them. They talked about, when update 1.85 came out, supersonic vehicles were kind of testing, you know, how AAMs were going to work. They were also testing a bunch of mechanics, and then in update 1.87 we would see a furor of a bunch of vehicles which would also have these mechanics. And it seems like with the German and now also a French premium, which we'll get into in a bit, they are going to have at least some form of air-to-air missile on them. On top of this, since this is a British aircraft, it will have 4 Hispano Mark Vs in the center of it. One of the key components of the FGA-6 that was talked about was the fact that it could carry bombs, it could carry rockets. So my feeling is with the Mark 100 version, since it is very similar to the FGA-6, it should also be able to carry these armaments as well. So yeah, it's also got a more powerful turbojet engine compared to the earlier designs of the Seahawk, which hopefully we see at some point in game, and overall this pack, or this, machine, will cost you $49.99. And $49.99, if you take off the 2000 GE and the premium account for 15 days, will land you in a place which will be $34.99. So I don't know why this is there, but yeah, basically, if you look at the cost of this, 2000 GE and 15 days is around about $15. So yeah, you're going to be paying for this vehicle on launch $34.99. If you want to grind out that new MiG-19, I'd say it's a pretty good price. You know, this thing isn't going to be the best in the air. It's not going to be able to outdo Sabres. It's not going to be able to absolutely annihilate anything in front of it, but what it will be able to do is give you that secondary option of the AAM, and also give you the secondary option of being able to do a lot of secondary stuff, so bomb a lot of targets, rocket a lot of machines, and for me, that is as important when it comes to ground forces, and especially naval, once we start getting up to those upper echelons with our ships, as just killing other vehicles. So we'll see how it goes. I think if we do look at the rest of the rank 5 premiums, this is definitely one of the weakest, not as weak as the Meteor, but it's definitely getting there. I mean, the competition is pretty fierce at that level. Another thing that has come along with the Seahawk is the pre-order bonuses, so you get yourself a Storm Patrol decal and a Storm Patrol title. So this is the decal in question. I think the decal itself is very nice. I still don't put it into consideration for the money spent though. When we look at another thing that is on offer as well, since we have the fact of the Seahawk coming to the German tree and the British tree, the logical conclusion is that the German tree gets itself a bundle. So they are bundling together the Leopard pack, which is the Leopard A1A1 L44, and the Hawker Seahawk Mark 100. And the overall cost is $76.99. So if you actually take away the 4,000 Golden Eagles and 30 days worth of premium, each vehicle together costs $46.99, and therefore each vehicle, if you buy themselves in this bundle, when you take away everything else, is worth $23.50. So if you have obviously the money to spare and you want to grind through your German stuff, this is the way to go. It's as simple as that. The bundles are always better offers than the individual ones, but if you only want a specific vehicle, then obviously just go for that. For me, the Leopard A1A1 L44, it gets... Well, it annoys me, I think is the best way of putting it. The German 8.7 lineup is insane. You have this, you have the standard Leopard A1A1, you have the TAM. You also have the ability of having a radar-guided AA, and you also have some very good aircraft to go along with it. The A1A1 L44 used to be at 9.0, where I personally think it deserves to be. Same with the A1A1. If we were in a place where we designed BRs for vehicles around their stock nature compared to the fully upgraded one, then fair enough. The A1A1 should be at 8.7, but fully upgraded, it is a 9.0 vehicle. And the A1A1 L44 is exactly the same in that regard. It is an amazing vehicle at 8.7. It has a stabilized 120mm gun with rounds which have benefited from the Lanz Odermatt formulae, 417mm at 0 degrees, and then 323 at 30, 195 at 60 degrees. The main thing as well is it has 1650 meters per second on a stabilized gun on a wonderful A1A1 chassis. Like, this thing is fast, it's maneuverable, it's got a great gun on it. The only issue it has is that it's not as good as the XM1, basically because it has slightly less speed. And that, to me, doesn't mean that it shouldn't be a 9.0 vehicle. This thing is a point-and-click machine. Where it is right now, it is a wonderful pickup if you want to grind through the German tree, because it's not just good, it also has a lineup built around it, which is something a lot of other nations definitely don't have with their top-tier premiums. So, for me, this is a steal at $23.50. An absolute steal. Also understand that later on in the year, when it comes to all of these premiums, generally what will happen is they will go on offer, normally 50% off. So if you don't want to buy it now, wait until then. And I'm sure Germany might have a new top-tier tank. One thing we didn't see from the stream today is there was no top-tier vehicle for the Germans when it comes to their ground forces. So we'll see in the future if they get anything of that nature. Right now, I would say the Leopard A1A1 L44 and the Seahawk pack is incredibly good value for money, at least from my point of view. I just wish that the Germans got something a little bit better than the Seahawk, but it's still going to be a good grinder. It will still get you that MiG-19, and I suppose after 5 or 6 years of having the best aircraft in the game, in the German tree, maybe my expectations should have been limited a little bit. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.